What's up, guys? It's Antoine Stanley here, or Coach Stanley. As you know, we're here at Next Level Fit. So, going to kind of introduce our staff here as we're starting this new adventure of doing a podcast. So, every week we're going to try to send out a new video that's going to have different topics. This week we're going to kind of get into a little bit later, but it's just going to be like different things here and there. What we're going to attack as far as weightlifting, powerlifting, etiquette. Could be meal prep, could be nutrition. I may even have special guests on here, professors that know more about actual nutrition stuff, as well as what it takes for muscle building, bodybuilding, what have you. So there's going to be a whole bunch of topics. I've been getting a lot of ideas from our members itself, but if you have any ideas that you want to shoot to us, just send us a message and we'll try to add it into each episode. So y'all help us grow as we grow. All right. So I'm going to introduce our staff here. Doesn't matter who wants to start. Doesn't matter. Just hit it off.
My name is Lester, Coach Lester. Graduated Coach School 2017, exercise science degree. Also certified USAW. Been coaching now for about 5-ish years.
What's up, you guys? My name's Austin. I'm a senior at Coastal Carolina University. I'm an exercise sports science major, and I'm an intern. So I can't be as impressed with these guys about certifications, but I am working towards being certified as strength and conditioning coach, as well as in USDA weightlifting and powerlifting. You guys can call me Coach whoever you want. Yeah.
All right, so like I said, my name is Antoine Stanley. I'm trying to give you a little bit of background about me. So I did my undergrad at Coastal Carolina University, where I got my bachelor's of science in exercise sports science. Then I went off to Georgia Southern University and got my master's in education administration, or higher education administration, that is. And then, started my path on strength and conditioning. So actually, when I was a junior, senior in college at Coastal, kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do in exercise science. At one point I wanted to kind of do like sports entertainment marketing. Then it was like athletic training, but then it was like my love for the weight room, as I was a part of the football team at that time. I had a love for the weight room and I wanted to know more, and I'm very thankful for that staff at that time, between the 2011, 2012 era at Coastal Carolina, under the leadership of Coach Josh Stoner, that I learned a lot of different things. It kind of opened up my eyes with strength conditioning, as far as like it's more than X's and O's. It's just more than just lifting weights. There's actually a science that goes behind it. So, every set, every rep is accounted for in a certain type of way, even when it comes to conditioning. The way that we program for conditioning is programmed to last over a long period of time, rather than just something that's right then, right there. And then I went off to Georgia, like I said, went off to Georgia Southern, was a grad assistant there. Thankful for Coach Tom Melton, Scholar Piles, as they hired me over there as a graduate assistant. Coaching changes as Coach Monken went off to Army West Point, and then we had Coach Willie Frisk, which my new boss became Coach Cal Spear, and then that staff that we formed over the 2 to 3 years that I was over there, opened up my eyes even more as far as learning more, and I actually kind of like molded myself and got my philosophy as a strength and conditioning coach. So everything that you see kind of that I present or that I talk about that we're going to do for classes, I kind of like learned over the years in the college sector, and then now brought it over to the private sector. So it's just not something that it's not everyday stuff. Yeah, it's stuff that I've learned to do for like football players, baseball, basketball, what have you. Even men's and women's tennis. I also was the coach of the women's swim and dive team. So it was just everything is not just like rah, heavy weights training, because that's what people think football is all about. Yeah, they're sometimes more of the bigger, stronger athletes, but there's more that goes to it, and that's exactly what we do. We just learning, strength conditioning. So I brought all of that and brought it to a private sector. After college, kind of came back to Myrtle Beach, worked at as like a professional intern again for Coastal Carolina with the guys that were transitioning for pro day for the football team, and then from there kind of formed another staff and made Myrtle Beach High Performance Center, which was the first private facility that I made. And then now, after a course of 3-4 years, I have my own place. Now I'm by myself, not necessarily by myself. Obviously, I got coaches that are with me and a team that comes around as far as forming and making sure this thing grows and develop over the years as it should. So like I said, strength and conditioning is my passion. And as you can tell with these episodes as we go along, you will see more and more of the passion that it goes along with that. All right, so that's enough about the college and degrees and all that other stuff. Kind of like going into my certifications, I am a USAW Level 1 certified and USA PL club coach. So I do have those certifications. And I also have a barbell club called Level Up Barbell. So Next Level Fit is the gym. Level Up Barbell, if you get it, level up. So the stuff that we do with Next Level Fit, if you want the next level of training, which everything we always say next level, this always comes around in there. So Level Up Barbell is the club name for that. So if you want to join the Olympic weightlifting team or barbell club team, that's what that is. And we compete local meets. We even trying to make it to the point that we're competing nationally, and maybe someday down the road internationally. So some things are just always growing. I also compete myself. I compete in USAW underneath my coach Walt Neubauer with Women's Weightlifting Club. So shout out to those guys over there in weightlifting, in Wilmington, North Carolina. So those guys are great over there. Love those guys. And all right, so that's pretty much my background. I think I took up like 10 minutes of just talking about myself. All right, let's kind of move into kind of just like your welcome to Next Level Fit. So like I said, this is the first episode, so it's just kind of just like an introduction of what we do. So the services that I do provide classes like I talked about it. So it's group fitness classes. We do have various times that we do that. It's 5:15 a.m. That is a.m. by the way. 5:15, 6:15. 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. So all of our classes are done in the morning, and then in the afternoon it's pretty much just a free-for-all, open gym style in the afternoons. My hours, Monday through Friday, open at 5:15 in the morning, close at 12 for lunch. Then we open back up at 3, and we close at 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. on Fridays, and then Saturdays we open at 8 and close at 12. Types of training. So pretty much all of our training is pretty much strength and conditioning all together. Like I said, I do have a barbell club, Level Up Barbell, and that's Olympic weightlifting. There's so Olympic weightlifting. If you don't know what that is the clean and jerk and the snatch. Okay, so that's the two lifts that we compete at as well. With those, and then you got your powerlifting. Everybody knows about the big three: your squat, bench, deadlift, and so that type of training is actually incorporated into my classes as well. Now, I do have different modifications for people. Say like you come to my class, like you love the videos, but you just don't want to do barbell. Well, obviously, I have other options as well. I got kettlebells and I got dumbbells. I can always modify everything all the way down. I can make a level 1, level 2, level 3, doesn't matter. Beginners, intermediate, advanced, doesn't matter where you're starting from when you come here. I help you make it to your next level. So that's the whole biggest thing, just making sure that everybody knows that it's kind of formed and just make it to your next level. Let's see, what else? And so class is kind of like what we call like a super total type deal where you're mixing Olympic lifting and powerlifting together. And then we also add in some accessory works, which we're actually going to talk about today as well. And like I said, I do have a coaching staff, so I am the director of performance here. Our assistant director, Lester, to my left here, and then my head intern for this semester, Austin, or Coach Wu, if you want to call him that. That's the name that he got as an intern. It's a funny story. We'll talk. Maybe we can make that a whole episode. How do you get the name Coach Wu? But if you see him in videos dancing, just kind of like fast forward through that because unless you really just want a good laugh. But he's always dancing on stuff. But all right, let's kind of just jump into some things. We're gonna go kind of like talk about like gym etiquette because I know a lot of times people come to my gym, they kind of walk in, they're like, "Whoa, is this CrossFit?" Well, no, nothing against CrossFit, but there's nothing about my gym that looks like CrossFit. But the fact that everything is pretty much free weight, it kind of, people may get the idea that it's CrossFit, but it's because I do Olympic weightlifting. And just for y'all that don't know, Olympic weightlifting came first, so don't ever think CrossFit came and then Olympic weightlifting came. The Olympics started way before CrossFit. Let's put it that way. Y'all do the math. I'm not going to do it for you. But Olympic weightlifting came first. So that's pretty much how our gym is pretty much set up. So I'm going to let Coach Lester talk and talk about the type of stuff that we want to talk about for gym etiquette.
All right, so like you said, I know a lot of people can be nervous when they first come to a gym, especially seeing a lot of barbell and dumbbell work. But first thing I want to say is we are a fun group of coaches. Like, we're going to make training fun for you. So there's no reason for you to be nervous in any kind of way. But if you, we're not the kind of coach that sit there and yell. Unless you need that kind of coach. If you need that kind of coach, we can be that for you. But we definitely would like to have a good time while you're here. But we're going to break everything down for you, because a lot of times when people get nervous is because, well, I've never really been to the gym before. I don't know what I'm doing. We don't have to worry about that. We're going to break everything down for you step by step, starting from the warm-up. We start off our warm-up with some groundwork, and then we go from groundwork to, doing some moving warm-up. So everything is broken down step by step, just to make sure we're here to make sure you don't get injured, but make sure you get the results that you're looking for. So we go from our warm-ups into the actual workout. And in that workout, you want to make sure you got on the proper clothing. So one thing for me that helped me out during my lifts was I had on more like running shoes when I first started. You change those I changed my running shoes into actual lifting shoes. And it definitely helped my squat, my snatches, my cleans, like my deadlifts, all of those major lifts, it helped. So you want to make sure you're wearing proper gym attire while you're here. We highly encourage wrist wraps and knee sleeves, that kind of stuff, because wearing those stuff definitely help you throughout your lift. We have belts here for you for your squats and your deadlifts and stuff like that. We have the proper materials here for you. We have bands. So like he said, we have modifications for people that can't really jump straight into maybe like heavy bench press or heavy squats. We have bands, we have the dumbbell modifications. We have all kind of modifications here just for you. Even after the workout, we even go into stretching, because stretching is a big part of your workout. Recovery is definitely important. You don't want to just go into a hard workout and then after the workout you just go jump into your car and drive off. No, you want to do some type of stretching or cool down that will definitely benefit you, get your heart rate back down, make it safe for you to actually, continue out with your day. That's pretty much the important part. Just don't be nervous when you come in. I promise you we're going to take care of you. We got some excellent coaches here that have been trained, and we got you covered.
Yeah, to reiterate on what Lester was talking about, being at a gym can be very intimidating at first. So it's just like, I try to eliminate, we try to eliminate that whole persona of like, oh, there's a bunch of, what's Planet Fitness stuff? Lunks? Yeah, a bunch of lunks. So there's no lunk alarm, but like we try to make it where people understand that like, all right, this is a gym, but at the same time, you're coming here and you're training seriously, and you always have a coach that's just going to help you. Even if you come outside of class times, I try to get people to make sure they stay inside of class times, but things happen, doctor's visits, what have you. If something comes up, they have to come outside of class time and they come in during open gym, they still have a coach there to help them out throughout the workout. It's not you just coming in and just kind of like hoping to figure out what you're going to do. Everybody gets a sheet, and actually this is actually the sheet they're kind of running off of right now. Everybody gets a sheet, and you kind of like tracking your weights, tracking everything that you do, so that we make sure that you're progressing all the time. Don't be scared. I know like a lot of people are like, oh man, your name of the gym, the logo, all that stuff is intimidating. No, that's the reason why I keep saying let's make it to your next level. So if you're coming to me, you come to me for a reason. So it's your fitness goals. You're the one that's coming here. Is your idea what you want to do. Obviously, you have to put a lot of effort in it as well. Just wanting to do it and not actually doing it won't actually help you. So that's the one thing that we try to reiterate a lot. And then we make, like you said, we make it fun. Training is hard. Training, a lot of people go through different type of training cycles. I go through training cycles to get ready to compete, and I will tell you, there's times that I'm like, you know what, I don't feel like doing none of this, but I know there's an ultimate goal at the end. So when I'm getting ready for a meet, I'm like, all right, everything that I'm putting together is getting me ready for this meet. So it's kind of like the same thing when we do consults or when we do a program. I make people think about what is their ultimate goal, or not ultimate goal, what is their end goal for the end of that program. Like by the time they end this program, like if they're starting with a certain body fat percentage, by the time they finish, their goal is to be at least, almost 5% down, or even if they want to look at their body weight, if they're looking at their body weight by the end of 12 weeks, they want to be, we always lose a pound a week. So like you got 12 weeks of a program. The goal may be want to lose 12 pounds, but you also got to remember the factor of when you gain lean muscle mass, body weights will fluctuate up and down. So everything is just about, getting to your next level, being the best that you can be throughout the programming phase, and just being a overall fitter you. I know a lot of people be like a better you. I think that deals with more stuff rather than just fitness. So, fitness wise, be a fitter you.
I will say too, like when it comes to hitting your goals, we also are here to help you with like nutrition advice. We have a nutrition coach here. We again are exercise science majors, so we have nutrition backgrounds as well. So if you need help with nutrition, we can definitely help you there too.
Yeah, and I mean, as you can tell, I'm a big boy, so I love to eat. So I'm maybe not the first choice to ask for nutrition, but I do know guidelines. I do know what is right. Let's put it that way. I know what's right. Even though, I may want to eat a little extra. I may want to put a little bit of cheese and bacon on my fries. But, we have our nutrition guidelines that we go by. So, if I have nutrition guidelines if you want to gain lean muscle mass, or nutrition guidelines if you just want to focus on losing body fat. And sometimes simultaneously with the style of training that I do, you're going to do both at the same time. If you're pushing yourself, giving, I hate to say it this way because some people may think of it the wrong way, but if you're giving 85 to 100% every day, you're going to succeed. And if you don't understand what that statement means, so our programs, like I said, our programs are 12 weeks. That is a long time. Most of the time when you see people, they're like 30-day challenge, 21-day challenge, this type of stuff. So those are very short-term live goals. So my programming is a little bit longer because I want long-term sustainable goals met, okay? So if every single day, if we're asking you, if you want to come in 6 days a week when we're open and do the days that we're doing strength, the days that we're doing cardio, if you're giving us 85 to 100%, you will succeed and you won't burn out. You constantly giving 100 and 110% every single day, you're going to miss several days. You will miss way more days than the person that's given their ultimate best every day. That makes sense. Your ultimate best, some days may not always be 100%. Things happen, we get sick. I mean, this morning I'm sitting up here trying to down emergency before I get the first group started. So, it's that time of the year where, the flu is going around and all this other stuff. 85% to 100% every single day, and you will get the best results out of a long-term goal. Now, we always want to make sure that we're doing our best we can, but that's kind of like just the deal on that. Sorry, somebody's trying to call me. Anyway, but I think they messed up my recording. Anyway, it's crazy that, a lot of times people are like, give me 110%, give me 110%. If your goal is only to burn out somebody every single day, well, you're doing them disjustice. Is that even a word? Disjustice? I'm just making up words. That's a word? Disservice. There we go. Thank you.
See, that's what we
appreciate
got
it.
to make sure we don't mess up that bad.
I'm making up words. Okay, obviously I was an English major. So,
we're strength coaches.
Yeah.
You're doing a disservice. So, I would be like, I want 110%, but really, I want you here as many days as you can. The more you're here, the better your results will be. I'm open 6 days a week. That doesn't mean I want you to train 6 days a week. Personally, I train 5 days a week. If you're getting 4 to 5 days a week with the style of program that I'm doing right now, you're doing great. You don't have to come every single day. And you're just giving your best every time. If you're giving your best, then you will see results. That's my whole thing about that. I'm off my soapbox. All right, next up, let's go into some bodybuilding with the bro.
Bodybuilding. So as you can tell, I'm a bodybuilder. No, I'm not. So when you're talking about bodybuilding, we're not thinking about bodybuilding like Arnold Schwarzenegger or any of these, famous bodybuilders. We're more talking about the accessory work that comes into play after you do your main lift. Like after you do your squats, your bench, your deadlift. We usually do those right in the beginning because they require the most energy from you. And we don't want you tanked at the very end of the workout. It's like, okay, go deadlift 85% of your max. That ain't gonna happen. I can tell you that 1%. You will regret it. So we do accessory work after we do those main lifts. And what accessory work we're talking about is that we're more hitting specific muscles. So let's say we're doing mostly a chest workout with bench. Afterwards, we would try to hit mostly like specifically different parts of the chest and possibly the triceps and also the scapula. So really what that's trying to do is, one, we're trying to make sure there's no specific weaknesses that might affect your main lift. We're also looking into basically that there's no balance issue or a mobility issue, because if there is, we don't want you going to that main lift a week later and getting injured because we didn't take care of it by getting that part stronger. And that as well with accessory work is when we do supersets. With supersets, you're kind of like tiring your body a little bit, but you're trying to get stronger at the same time, and you do a quick recovery. So usually it's like, when you're doing superset, you do maybe about 12 reps with one exercise and 12 reps with the next exercise, and you take it like about a minute off so your body can recover and go back to it. There's been some research about doing accessory work to really help get you stronger, get you mobilized, and also prevent chronic injuries that could happen just because of a weakness that we as a coach didn't notice, or that maybe you didn't realize beforehand. So we like to try to focus on specific muscle groups afterwards, just so you can get the best out of your workout, but two, to your goals that we're striving towards.
And then based off more, like I said, we do some type of screenings every once in a while. So FMS kind of like tells us, so if you don't know what FMS is, that's the functional movement screening. Kind of tell us some of your imbalances as well. And at the same time, quote unquote, bodybuilding is a big part of training anyway. So like he said, getting little injuries here and there, like overuse of trying to use the big muscles all the time. So like when we bench, we squat, clean, jerk, doesn't matter. You're using more of your bigger muscles than you're using of your smaller muscles. So if your bigger muscles are constantly getting worked or overworked, what have you, and you're not building up the little muscles that are sustaining and holding it up, then you're doing yourself no justice at all. Like it's literally like even the things that I do like for mobility for my shoulders. Every day I'm cleaning, every day I'm snatching. It may be different positions, it may be pauses, it may, what have you. Like today I have like 3 position snatch. So like constant warm up for me with mobility, it's like I get some anterior exterior rotation going on. So for some of y'all that may know like scarecrow or something like that. So any type of that arm mobility, inside, outside, Cuban presses, all that type of stuff, whatever have you, to help the muscles, build up at all times. So bodybuilding is a big part. So I mean, like if anybody knows like my programming, especially like not so much for class, because I do have classes and usually like people that are 9 to 5 people. I don't go too crazy, like having 4 or 5 sets of accessory work. It may be only 3, sometimes it may be 4, but the volume of the reps are always high. Even on a deload week, I may drop a set or 2, but the reps are high because bodybuilding is that important. So if you ever see my accessory work, say like back extension, stuff like that, it's 3x12, 3x10. It may be even 3x8, depending on what the volume is for the beginning of the workout. So the volume at the beginning of the workout will dictate how the accessories work. But usually 9 times out of 10, 3x10, 4x10 is usually like the base. the bottom. And or even like with my powerlifters, I give them a range. They may do 3 to 4 sets, and it may be 15 to 20 reps or 20 to 25 reps. Depending on what the exercise is. That's not for like, I'm not having you doing like 20, 25 leg curls. That's excessive. But like, say like if it's something like face pulls, or if they're doing tricep work or something like that, something that needs to be worked a little bit to make sure that everything else stays secure. If you're constantly trying to get to a heavier total or move to a heavier weight, you got to do this type of stuff. So that's why that's such a big deal.
I got one. So for like example, just to give y'all a little quick example of why accessory work is so important. If you think about it, like, have you ever been to a gym where you see these really big, strong looking people at the gym, and you're like, oh, they must know what they're doing, but you really take a good look at them and their shoulders are rolled like super forward, or their arm can't even extend all the way, it got like a permanent bend in it. That's because their accessory lifts are off. They don't have anyone training them properly. They're just going in there and kind of doing some random stuff that they think they need to do to get bigger. When you balance out your accessory work, you can, like, let's say, make your arms a little bit bigger or get stronger, but still have full mobility and be able to, relax your shoulders and have your chest poked out a little bit versus having your shoulders rolled. So that's one of the biggest, one of the important parts of accessory work is making sure you're balancing it out like they were saying that you should do.
I think it was like accessory work. We're not going to have you come in and do, let's say, okay, for the next hour, we're going to just do arms. Like, go do them curls. I've done that before. Let me tell you, doing our arms, sure, after 4 weeks, they look like Popeye, but, the rest of my body was like scrawny and really like
upside down triangle.
Basically, with chicken legs. But the thing is, like, we really want to make sure we're focusing on those small muscle groups, as well as we implement some core exercises, because the core is probably one of your most important areas to make sure it's strong and stabilized. You need it for all your main lifts. You need it for pretty much everything, if you think about it. So we really want to make sure you're getting the best out of these accessory works, not coming in and do like traditional, let's hit the chest. Today's Monday, right? International Chest Day today. Yes. But we're not going to say, okay, go bench, then you do a chest press and do a chest fly, do all this. We're going to be like, okay, do a bench, but we're also going to work on some core. Okay, and we're going to superset with some stability, some mobility stuff, as well as maybe some scapula action, all that good stuff. So really, we're not, when they say bodybuilding, we're not talking about traditional stuff. We're talking more about something that's going to improve your performance over time and be able to sustain that.
Yeah. So that's kind of like gonna wrap it up. That's kind of like just the basics right now. Every episode after this is kind of gonna always have like a main topic. This was kind of like just an introduction, just to let you know about Next Level Fit. I feel like we're constantly doing introduction videos, but I want people to know more and more about what we do, and kind of like make it simplified for you guys. I'm trying to make sure I watch a lot of stuff that I post and make sure I'm not talking over you guys' head. So it's more going to be like an educating you guys as we go along, because the more and more we do and we start educating you guys, you're going to know more, and then you're going to be like, all right, well, what do I do next? What do I do next? What do I do next? So now we're in the teacher seats, and we're trying to teach you guys, and, help you guys out, do better, be better, and, bring the best gym that we can to Myrtle Beach, with the style of stuff that we do. So we're completely different than most gyms around here along the Grand Strand. So strength and conditioning is slightly different, and the backgrounds that we have, the background that I have, we have a lot of knowledge that we want to give out to people. So we just want to make sure we get that out to you guys. All right, so that's the first podcast. Anybody got anything? Signing off. All right, Next Level Podcast brought to you by Coffee. Have a great day.